Huh? Hey, I'm tryna win. I'm tryna win in the 716 and I'm making it big. I wanna live. I think I'm ready.
Yo, what's good, man? This is Easy Child Podcast with your one and only host, Glory Boy, here with our next special guest in the building. Yes, sir. And I just want to say, man, this guest right here, we've been trying to do this for a minute. I just want to say I appreciate you for taking time out of your time, bro, and just being here. It's a pleasure having you here.
No doubt, bro.
And I already told you earlier, so like the format of this podcast, basically, I like to just sit down and have a conversation with my guests, getting to know you. Damn near like it's like we're sitting down in Tim Hortons, Spot Coffee, and just kicking it, right? But yeah, how you feeling today, bro?
I feel good, man. I'm blessed, man. Productive day.
Right.
Woke up today, man. I'm a God friend, man. So every day that I got an opportunity to wake up and do something, I'm just grateful for it.
That's it, bro. You got to be grateful. And also, before we even start this, may y'all go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this video. And also, y'all go ahead and follow Brody. You can tell them your Instagram, tell them who you are, and then we can go ahead and start this.
Yeah, at LVSH Clothing. My name is Lavish Jones. I'm an apparel owner. And, yeah, man, I own some might say one of the most prominent brands in the area. Every day is consumed with that for me, so that's pretty much what I do.
Yeah, bro. So tell us, bro, where you from?
I'm from the east side of Buffalo, New York.
East side of Buffalo, New York.
Yeah.
How's the experience been for you, growing up in the east side of Buffalo, New York?
Treacherous.
Why you say that?
The east side of Buffalo is like a dark hole. And I was born into that dark hole, always been a part of it.
Right.
And that dark hole either going to consume you or motivate you to find lightness. You know what I mean? Or find light, rather. And for me, it was more the motivation to help me find light. But just being engulfed in an area where it's crime and negativity and lack of resources and lack of education and lack of diversity and lack of most of the things that you would typically need to be a productive citizen or develop under a certain, to a certain point or excel to a certain point. It was limited in my neighborhood, so just being in that environment make it more difficult.
But let's talk about just growing up in Buffalo itself. What school did you go to as well? If you want to tell us about that.
High school.
Middle school, high school.
So grammar school I went to. It's not there no more. But I went to school in my neighborhood. It was called Stepping Stone. It's a charter school.
Okay.
After there, I went to performing arts.
Performing arts. And when you went to performing arts, did you always thought about becoming like an apparel owner, or
Nah.
What did you do there?
So performing arts, when I first got there, I was a visual art major.
Okay.
From 6th grade to 8th grade. After 8th grade, I changed my major to media communications. So pretty much what we're doing right now. So I studied in high school and in college too. So
that's crazy, bro, because I did communication studies in college as well.
Yeah.
And my concentration was more into like advertisement and public relations.
Okay.
So I mean, that's why I'm very much interested in doing stuff like this.
Yeah.
And I mean, how did you enjoy your major though?
I loved it. Being a part of media communications changed my life.
Right.
It steered me in a direction that I never thought I would go in, and I never foreseen. It added elements to my life that I wasn't aware of that I really had before. New stuff was cultivated, new creativities, new talents, new ideas, new direction. Put me in rooms with people that I wasn't in with before, and I didn't know I really had a liking or a passion for communications until I took it as an elective in middle school, or junior high rather. And then from there is where I learned, okay, like I actually like this,
Right.
So I took it all the way from high school, the whole 4 years. I was on side gigs, making a business out of it. Went to college, did another 4 years, excelled there. And now I kind of take my media communications talents and skills and incorporate it into my clothing business. But I don't do it full time anymore.
Okay. And also, like, let's take a look at, because I always talk to everybody like that I have a conversation with. I'm like, yo, when I was young, I always wanted to become this. So besides that, what did you always wanted to become when you were young, growing up? Did you ever want to become like an apparel owner, or just being able to be, like you said, in the rooms where you're communicating with people, using your skills and so on and so?
Like I was telling you earlier, where I grew up at, it's like a dark place.
Right.
So really, my only real goal was to find a way to get myself me and my family out of my predicament. Any way that I could see for any way that I could see that would fit, that can get the job done, as long as it wasn't like hindering to my life or something like that. So I didn't really have no specific goals or dreams on specific careers or anything like that.
Right.
I just knew I always wanted to find a way to make income, excel.
So you was just a go-getter, you wanted to put yourself in positions where you feel like, man, like I have freedom.
For sure. And I saw in any way I could find fit. Like I used to do airbrushing, I used to hustle gel pens, I used to hustle CDs, I used to do all type. I was trying to do whatever I could.
Right.
I was throwing parties at one point. I still do sometimes. Clothes, music videos, graphic flyers. I was doing grills at an early age, custom gold grills.
You still do grills though?
Yeah, I still do.
Because I saw you always post it on your page. You still do grills.
Yeah, I still do.
Damn, that's amazing, bro. I mean, just being able to put yourself in a position where like you actually trying different things to stay positive. Did you ever lose people throughout the process?
100%.
Okay, and how did you feel about that?
When you first go through it, it's a little confusing.
Right.
A little bit of an emotional stun, if you will, because these be your dearest friends, your family, you know what I mean? And that's not always about money, but it comes from y'all not being like-minded or having morals that align with each other that you thought you did. Right. And those things get exposed over time as you go down your paths. So it's been certain encounters that I had and I handle a certain way, and I expect, a friend or a family member to handle it in a similar light, and they don't, and it creates a bridge between us.
So let's talk about money first, okay? Because I know money. A lot of people say money is the root of evil. Money can build and can destroy.
Yeah.
So when it came to a time where you was really working hard, making something out of yourself, and people will come around you because you have that money, how did you kind of like treat them when they came?
Like I navigate that?
Right.
Well, for one, you can't conceptualize money the way that most people do. Most people see it as, something that can elevate you above people. But it doesn't make you greater than anybody. It just gives you greater resources to, travel further or do other things. But on a personal level, on an interpersonal level, or on a being level, having money or, having more money than the next man or your cousin or whatever doesn't make you greater than them. And people misconceptualize that going through that. So for me, like I always had the idea that no matter how much money I had, I was going to be the same person.
Right.
So it's like, it's just always been a tool. It's just always been a tool that I needed to, like I always told you what my goal was, to get me and my family out of our predicament. So I just needed that to kind of, leverage that, and I still need it. You know what I mean? So, right. But I never looked at it in a way that was like, I never took money for a shallow concept. It was always like, this is just a tool to make me a better person and put me in a better situation. My bad. I feel like I kind of steered from your question.
No. And also like the people around you, because I know when you have people around you, let me say you have your business, you're working hard. Mm-hmm. So what kind of circle of people you kept, closer to you? Because, a lot of people, they may wait for you to start making greater moves for them to come closer to you.
Like attached,
to become more attached to you. And some people may start from like the beginning and continue to build up. So what kind of people did you keep around your circle?
I feel like most of my circle was organic. I never really like utilized the currency value as a way to make friends or, what kind of friends I should have. Like all of my relationships were organic, and the ones that I lost doesn't mean I wasn't meant to be there in the first place, but that's like trial and error when you meeting people. So like, some of my closest friends now, they've been my friends for 10 years, some 15, some 8, you know what I mean? But these are all people that I met on my journey but was like-minded.
Right.
Wanted similar things in life and carry similar values. And again, the ones that I met that didn't, I feel like I got a pretty good discernment of character. So when I do come across people that's like, we not like-minded, or we don't think the same, we don't view life the same, we don't view people the same, we don't view money or goals the same, you know, I'm not a bad person to them, but I just navigated to the point where it's like, I don't want you to be that close to me. I'm not vulnerable to you, you know what I mean? So I'll treat you with respect because you're a person.
Right.
You know, I may even see you and hug you and show you love, but
But you outgrow them. You know, you outgrow them because they're not on the same level as you in terms of like.
I wouldn't even say the same level. It's just that
In terms of goals, though, that's what I'm trying to say.
yeah, no, I wouldn't even say it's the same level. It's just that I would visualize things in the same way,
Okay.
or appreciate things in the same way. So when you find people that it's like we don't view or we don't conceptualize our goals or our life purpose the same or our morals the same.
Right.
It's not that, you know, because when you say levels, it's like one's higher, one's lower. You know, that's not really the case. It's just whatever you thinking or doing or feeling could be good for you, but it's not good for me because that's not what I think or feel, or you know. And sometimes when that alignment ain't there, you just gotta separate yourself.
That's true, bro. I mean, I respect that, and that makes a lot of sense. So let's talk about family, because you kept mentioning you've been working really hard to put your family in a good position. So what does family mean to you?
It's everything. You know, this life without relationships or friendships or family,
Right.
it's shallow. Without love, without care, without unity, without, you know, support, without, you know, even the moments where you're able to sit down amongst your mom or your grandmom or your cousin, your sister, and just kick it and feel loved and just embrace each other and have a certain warmth in the house on Thanksgiving. Like, those are the type of things that enable you. Those are the type of things that motivate you. That's where you learn from. That's your foundation. You know what I mean? So, man, my family was everything to me, and it's unfortunate, like, you know, everybody don't always get to go together and be together and think together, but for the most part, the love is there.
But you know what's crazy? Like I be seeing on social media some people like just going off with their family members. Like sometimes I'm like, man, those are the people that you could run to like when you're going through some hardest.
But
things.
that's not always the case. You know what I mean?
It's not always the case.
You can't choose our family, unfortunately.
Yeah, sometimes family is not blood too, but a lot of times, cause I was watching this video. It was some people from my country, you know, they're family members, and the way they were talking to each other, bro, I'm like, man, like, how can family just be so separated?
So
like
cruel,
that?
yeah.
You know, like, I thought, because me, basically, I grew up in a very family-oriented family, so I never really seen a lot of people going at it with their families, fighting. Like, I've got to a point where, like, I'll fight with my brother, but we still come together, you know? That's the first person I can run to and be like, yo, bro, like, I need this, or yo, bro, I need your advice, you know? But, like, to you yourself, like, have you ever been in that particular situation where you have fought with your family and kind of, like, build up, like, that conflict?
So me, I was kind of raised different.
Okay.
I think the problem where that happens, where it's a lot of conflict and confrontation within family, within the household, it's a lack of love there from early on. And that trickles down as time goes on for you to be able to be combative with your family, for you to be able to be negative and project, you know, bad energy towards each other.
Right.
So my family was kind of based on love, you know what I mean? And true enough, you know, sometimes it's a few of us who just, you know, there may be conflict or whatever the case, and for the most part, based on love. Like, I remember vividly in my mind, it was one time when I was little, I was probably like 7 years old, 6 years old, and my older cousin, he did something to make me mad.
Still remember?
Yeah, vividly. He did something to make me mad, so I was just mad, cussing him, man, forget you.
Right.
And I started swinging at him, like I'm trying to beat him up, you know what I mean? It's my older cousin, like he only a year older than me, but he bigger than me. So I'm like, man, I'm mad, I'm throwing hands at him, he just dodging him. And then he grabbed my hands like, I'm not gonna fight you. Stop trying, I'm not gonna fight you.
Like,
You better off just walking away and we just deal with this later. We not gonna fight, we family. And that was like one of the biggest lessons in the world for me, because it's like, for one, I couldn't beat him up if I tried at the time. And for two, even though I was putting so much negative energy towards him, I was like really trying to get at him.
Right.
He wouldn't allow it to happen because he knew deep down inside, like, my job is to protect you and it should be us against them, never us against each other.
Amen.
You know what I mean? So that was like a moment of realization. Ever since then, I'll never fight my family again.
That goes to one of my point here. I always like to bring positivity to our community, because you see what goes on. You know, it's like our brothers killing each other. You know, so if we look at each other like that, like it's always us against whatever the odds, like the people that's against us, I feel like this will make a world a better place. So speaking of that, in what way do you think would like be able to bring peace to our community rather than people just fighting every day and causing conflict?
I think it's a few things. I think for one, it's hard to find peace in poverty because the stress is overwhelming. You know what I mean? The not being able to know what you're going to eat tonight, the not being able to get a ride to work, the not being able to buy clothes for Christmas, the not being able to pay the bill. Them moments is overwhelming and it's stressful. So when you consistently under that type of stress, consistently under that, you know, that dark cloud, or even like people that was born into situations where they don't have love or don't have family, so they trying to figure it out on their own. You know, I had a friend that died when he was 16 and I was 15, and the whole reason why he was in that predicament is because his family was not there to love him and support him. You know, his family was on drugs. He was living in home to home. You know what I mean? So it's hard to find peace in them situations. So I think before we can find peace, we got to figure out a way to minimize poverty, because wherever there's poverty, wherever there's lack of resources, there's going to be crime. There's going to be violence because there's going to be conflict, because these people don't have the resource. They don't have the peace. They don't have the opportunity. They don't have the mindset. They don't. All I know is survival mode. So when it comes to survival mode, it's either I'm going to eat or you going to eat.
Right.
If you got food and I don't, I need some.
Yeah. Speaking of minimizing poverty, how do you give back to the community? I know you have your business and you're still working hard. You're still working on yourself and providing for your family. But in what ways do you give back to the community, just to show people that we should all, you know, try to build something?
I always been big on not like publicizing your endeavors, your charitable endeavors,
Right.
because it's like if it's from the heart, you know. And I'm a little in a gray area with it, because sometimes you do need people to see to inspire others.
Right.
But then it's also like most of the time people show it, they want to just get recognition or knowledge for it. So I mean, I can't even count the times where I just give clothes, give food, I go to community centers and just help out, and I'm also Muslim, so you know there's a time in the month where I'm obligated to give back. I'm obligated to give food, to give money, to give charity, to indulge in charity. So it's big for me, you know what I mean? And you have to find a balance. Of course, you can't give everything because you got to support you and yours as well. But the times that I can't get the opportunity, I definitely give back to mine. That's one of my biggest dreams, is to be able to build enough revenue and enough income where I can invest into my neighborhood and buy properties, rebuild them, develop our recreational center in my neighborhood that's been there forever and it's been the same forever. And just really develop more opportunities in my neighborhood. Minimizing poverty is the goal, to be able to elevate us as a people.
Nah, facts, bro. I mean that's the whole goal. Is making sure there's a lot of abandoned buildings like in the east side of Buffalo that needs renovation. Yeah. And you actually looking into that, like that would be an amazing project, bro. Because there's a lot of kids that need a place like after school program place to go to, community center, because there's a lot of different community centers, but we need to encourage kids to see those things, those places that's gonna have like different skill sets where they can learn how to do certain things. Like, for example, let me say like your merch. You can teach kids how to make T-shirts. They need places like that, and it could be
it's even psychological too. Like just having a better place to live makes you feel better about yourself.
That's true.
It makes you project different energy into the world. Like even when you dress better. Like, like imagine there's a group of people and let's say we at a party, right? If we got a party and everybody got on street clothes and hoodies, the likelihood that a conflict can occur is more likely, because people are dressed in attire where they kind of feel just okay. Opposed to imagine if you go to a party in a suit and tie and everybody got on suits and tie. Somebody spill a drink on you, you're less likely to make a big scene about it or want to be confrontational about it, because you already look good, you feel good, everybody in suits. You don't want to disturb this classism. You don't want to disturb the class and hear the elegance, the vibe. But if everybody had on hoodies, somebody spilling drink on you, more likely to be like, hey, bruh. You know what I mean? So
that's a fact,
it's
bro.
Psychological, you know what I mean? So that trickles down even to your household. If you come home to a clean house and something of a higher standard, it makes you want to align with that standard, you know.
Yeah.
But if you come back to a box and a bed on the floor, you might be more treacherous because you live in treacherous.
That's facts. What did the coach from Colorado say? The Colorado College. He said, "You feel, you look good, you feel good.
Oh, yeah,
you feel
yeah,
good,
yeah,
you play
yeah,
good,"
yeah.
which is true, bro. And I like how you kind of put that in that category because I've been to a lot of college parties, and the college parties, everybody's dressed however they want,
Right.
and a lot of time, 9 times out of 10, basically it's either the party's gonna end with a fight or it's gonna end with an argument, or you're just gonna see people with hoodies standing right there. It gives you just bad energy.
It's just
bro.
bad energy. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's like you
set
for
the
your
tone.
safety.
Yeah, it's because you set the tone that way. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
If you allow people to come into your establishment or to your event, wherever they want, but you targeting people who may be from impoverished areas or some turn that level, they're gonna bring that. You know what I mean? But if you had set a standard, like, yo, to come here, you gotta dress this kind of way. And people might take that kind of way, but it's going to be conducive for the energy of the event. So I don't really be mad at like business club owners and stuff, but they got dress codes. I get it. And those, bro, I never seen a fight at like, let's say, the Curtis or.
Hey, I never seen a fight too.
Yeah, I mean.
Shout out to your party. Let's talk about your party.
Yeah.
That party was amazing. Everybody looked fantastic, bro. Everybody was looking fly.
Thank you.
And I appreciate you for, inviting me, bro.
Thank you.
I had a ball.
Thank you.
I had a ball.
Much appreciated, man.
Yeah, definitely, bro. So
Big
now
birthday vibes, man.
Man, birthday vibes for real, bro. So now let's just switch the the conversation to the most important thing is basically I want to talk about your business, your business journey and all that. So like, how did you come up to starting Lavish Clothing?
You want the long story or the short story?
Let's talk about it.
Okay, so remember I told you I was doing parties. So back in college, 2016 is the year. Throwing parties, and I built a bit of a brand and a bit of a good attraction for my events. At the time, my event night promotion name was Lavish Nights, and obviously I've been kind of rolling with this whole "you look good, you feel good" idea for a while. So when I was doing my events, even if they was in neighborhoods that wasn't that great, I would bring red carpets and champagne bottles to make people feel better.
Right.
Enhance the standard, enhance the energy, enhance the tone. So I went with this whole Lavish Nights thing. It was working. I'm throwing parties for years. I'm talking about like from like my first party was like 2010, maybe 9, and I'm still doing it to this day. You know what I mean? So not as frequently, but like you just had a party. So
right.
In 2016, I'm in college, and funds a little low, whatever. And I'm trying to figure out a way where I can capitalize on monetizing my event night brand beyond only having events. Because you can only have an events at certain times, right? So maybe on a Saturday, maybe once a month, maybe twice a month.
That's true.
Maybe every other month.
I mean, you got classes. You got classes.
School. Yeah. So I'm only making money whenever I'm throwing those events. Of course, I'm working too, but as far as like my extra money where I'm actually building something, it's only when I'm having an event. So I may have 4 or 5 events a year. I'm only making income on them 4 or 5 days. But the brand is big. Like every time I have an event, they're coming out, but I can't saturate it. I can't throw parties all the time. So I'm like, man, how can I capitalize on this brand that I'm building and monetize it without it being limited to a few times a year? I was like, I could do merch. So that and the company with me just also wanting to have sweatsuits for myself in college and wanting to, find my own wave and do my own thing. Those two things compiled together, Lavish Clothing was born. Wow. So I took the name from Lavish Nights, transferred it to merchandise, made something that was aesthetically pleasing. Back in 2016, my first suit was, man, I don't be mad at people when I be seeing them. Like I be seeing all these people doing clothing lines, and they be like grabbing blanks and other people blanks and ripping tags out and stamping their logo on. I don't be mad because I started the same way. My very first sweatsuit was a PJ Marks sweatsuit that I got from a convenience store in my neighborhood, and it was like probably $15 a sweatsuit. I took them home, ripped the tags out. I was at the time I was doing like custom print and T-shirts and stuff. So took the tags out, I took them to work. And I made me a logo at the crib one day. I took them to work, and I just started vinyl pressing my logo on these sweatshirts that I bought from the store. And I was selling them for like $40, $50. That's how I started, 2016.
Damn. Did you start like by yourself or you had a team around you as
Nah,
well?
it was just me.
Just you, bro.
Yeah,
That's
it was
fire,
me.
bro. That's fire. How did you feel though? Like, and when did you start saying, you know what? Now I need a team. I need people around me that can at least help me do either the marketing side of it or
Man, I never been more desperate for a team than now. I need a team so bad
right.
because I'm starting a new business venture.
Okay.
It's a little disclosed right now at the moment, but starting a new business venture and it's draining, bro. Just trying to divert yourself to so many avenues, so many facets. I'm trying to do as much as I can, but it's hard to do it by yourself. So I do get a little assistance from like my friends and a couple people that work with me, but I actually need like a solidified 2 to 3 people that's full time,
dedicated, right?
You know what I
Like
mean?
that's gonna be
Full-time, yeah.
putting that work
So
in.
I started off with no team. I do have people that assist me now, but I'm looking to strengthen the team for sure.
Right, definitely. And in terms of like, I know resilience because I've been talking about resilience. It's like the word of the week for me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, definitely, bro. Because I'm very self disciplined. So like when I do something, I stick to it. Throughout like even just growing up, I've always been an athlete, like a student athlete. Played in college, so I've always stayed disciplined on whatever that I'm doing. So speaking on like resilience itself, did you ever face a moment throughout like your process, your journey, where you was like, man, like this is too much, man. Like I'm gonna give up, and how did you manage to continue going?
In clothing,
Yes.
I never wanted to give up, but I'm also not a quitter. I don't want to give up in nothing that I do in life. That's just me. Like I never, no matter what adversity I'm faced with, I've been faced with some adversity, bro. Like some of the worst things you could think of. I never once in my mind was like I should quit, or I should stop trying, or I should stop applying myself. That never was a thought. There's been times where I've been faced with things that was challenging. I had to take time off. I had to refocus, kind of rethink things and figure out what direction I should take, how to apply myself better, what kind of decisions I should make, what I'm doing wrong, what I'm doing right.
Right.
Self-assessment, if you will. But it's never been a time where I sat back and like I'm giving up or I should quit. Or never in my life.
And did you ever thought your brand would get to this point when you started?
No.
Right.
No, I always wanted it to be. Obviously, when you start something, you want it to be as big as possible.
Exactly.
That's the goal. But to be able to actually conceptualize what it is and how people treat me and how the brand impacts communities and people and families, man, there's somebody buried right now in a lavish sweatsuit in their casket.
Wait, what?
Swear to God, bro.
Wow. So
Yeah,
you
I mean,
have really
so-
changed lives.
Nah, for real, like, they reached out to me and was like, yo, like, such and such, my family member, he loves your stuff. He don't want to wear no suit. He want to wear this.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And
That's powerful,
I gave
bro.
him a suit and he was in his casket and they buried him in a lavish sweatsuit. So
That's
it's like,
powerful.
this thing of mine, this thing of ours more so is embedded in history. It's embedded in legacy. It's embedded in my city. It's embedded in life. You know, so even if I was to stop today, the things that I've done, the impact that I made, the inspiration that I gave to others to do this thing that we doing, it can never be taken away.
I feel like that's actually one of the reasons why also you going crazier.
Yeah.
Because, thinking about it, bro, like someone saying, I want to be buried in your brand,
Yeah.
that's insane, bro.
Yeah, bro.
That's insane.
I
So
never told that story neither. There's a lot of stories I never told, but that's one of them, man.
hey, I'm glad you told it here. That's
Yeah.
East Pinchal podcast basically. I like when people are very authentic. Like, let's have a conversation. That's as you can see, we're just having a conversation. So now let me ask you, bro. I know throughout your brand, you have actually been working a lot with like different people. You have been meeting with celebrities and having that connection with them in terms of like continue to build your brand.
Yeah.
So how did you get to that point where you started connecting with all those people with big names, either in Buffalo or just anywhere in the United States?
Talking about anybody specifically?
Yeah,
They are different scenarios.
okay,
They're all their own journey.
right,
There's no like cookie cutter formula for it, to be honest. Sure, you can try to repeat the same things, but you're not going to apply it to every person. So the relationships that I made all came in different ways. I guess the one thing that I can say that's consistent amongst all of them is trying. I tried, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Can you give me somebody specific that you want me to speak about?
let's start with Buffalo-based Benny the Butcher.
Yeah.
Let's
that's
start.
my dog.
Let's start with him, and then we can move up to the
That's my
next one.
dog.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, like, how did you guys, managed to build that relationship and just be partners?
Completely organic, bro. I met Benny back in around the time he first came home from jail the second time, early 2010s. Around that time, I was working at one of the largest neighborhood stores on the east side, and he used to come in there all the time, just as a regular person, not as Benny the Butcher, just as Benny. And I was just me working, you know. So at first, it was no like real interactions that made a relationship. It's just the familiarity, consistently seeing somebody and being a salesperson for them all the time, you get to like get more comfortable with them.
And them stores, like them clothing stores in the east side, you see a lot of people that just come in, yo, I need a white t-shirt.
Yeah, exactly. You know? I need a Dutch. Or,
yeah, right.
Or let me get, at this time, like bootleg CDs was like booming. This before, if I'm not mistaken, this before streaming.
Okay.
So, you know, bootleg CDs, like, and he was still doing music, so he would even come to the store and sell his CDs, give them away, you know what I mean? Wow. So, like, he's just a person that I was seeing all the time. So eventually when you see somebody all the time, it's like, you go from being like, hey, how can I help you, to like, hey, bro, what's good? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, good to see you again.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that went from that. And then me, again, at that time, I'm heavy in communications. At that time, I'm doing music videos for clients left and right. So he doing music. So it only made sense. You know, at some point, he was like, yo, let's work on something. So he shot a video out in Atlanta called Out the Bag. Was the first project that I worked with him with. And it's probably like 2015.
Okay.
Maybe, I don't know, don't quote me, 2016, somewhere around that time. It's called Out the Bag, though. It's probably still out there. They shot it in Atlanta, and they needed somebody to edit it, so they came back. Him and DJ Shay came up to the store. It's like, yo, Q, you know what I mean? We got some footage. I'm going to throw you something, just edit it for me, whatever. So he kept throwing me a little bread. I took to the crib, took some lives, cut it up, real nice. And that was the first time I did something for them, and they liked it. So after that, the second time we worked together, I actually shot, directed, and edited the video for him. And I just edited this time. And that was Cold November. We did that probably like 2017.
Right.
Something like that. And that was dope project, man. And we released it. And just from there, like, you know, now we went from seeing each other often on a you know, just
a smaller scale. And
yeah,
right.
Now it's like we working together. So we get to know each other a little better.
How would you describe like him as a person? Because, you know, some people, I've came across some people that say, yo, I just think Benny the Butcher is a mean person, like based on like when they see like interviews, because when he talks on the interviews, he's very passionate about whatever that he's saying. But like, how would you describe him as a person? Because you've been around him. Yeah,
I think anybody that I got anything negative to say about Butch, they don't know him. You know what I mean? And I feel the same way about myself. Like, there's people out there that probably make rumors about me or chat about me in a negative way. They don't know me. Bro, he's a great person, bro. He's one of my inspirations. You know what I mean? Just like we talk, his resilience, perseverance. You know what I mean? He didn't do this. He didn't get successful at his craft early on. Right. 20 years, 25 years, 30 years. Man.
I heard, bro, like he used to go to like Brooklyn New York City and sell his CDs in New York City.
Bro, when me and Benny shot the Cold November music video in like 2017, I think it was, he picked me up in his girl's like Impala, like her like 04 Impala with a busted window. I mean, so it's like grinding, you know what I mean?
People don't see that side.
Nah, you don't see that side. So not having much to show for it, grinding, you know what I mean? So it's like, we was figuring it out, bro. And, bro, that's my dog, man. He's a great leader. He a great person overall. He humble, man. Like, you know, and nobody's perfect, you know what I mean? But overall, that's my dog, man. And I got nothing but love and respect for him. And he inspired me daily. Sometimes we check in with each other. He just call me. I call him just to get a little motivation, just chop it up, catch up, or whatever.
Right.
Or his birthday coming up, so I'm probably about to go meet up with him for his birthday. They're gonna do something for him, Rock Nation or something like that. So yeah, bro, just being around him is always like a motivating experience, and just to see how far he's already come from the situations he's been in, and to still be doing what he's doing at such an elite level, at such a difficult level, man. Dropping project after project, taking care of the family, you know, raising his kids, and also bringing a whole village of us up with him as much as he can. You know what I mean? It's not just me, bro. He got an abundance of friends, you know what I mean, before me too. You know what I mean? And I'm talking about his best friend is like his right-hand man, like put everybody in position for opportunity. I feel like as men, that's all you really need is, if you a real man, that's all you need is opportunity. You don't need the handout. You don't need the push. You just need the opportunity.
And that's one thing that, thank you for saying that, bro, because a lot of people, like handouts, you know, because
Yeah.
handouts is easy. You know, handouts is very easy. Like anybody can just give you something you could take.
For
But
sure.
like, what if they give you that opportunity? How can you use that opportunity? And I like how, I mean, you around him and that work ethic that you put in. You have your brand, and I've seen actually. Let's talk about also the one jacket that you made, I believe, for the Bills when they won the East championship.
The AFC East, yeah.
Yes, sir. So let's talk about that. Like, how did you come up with that idea? And also, how did you manage to like put it out there for the Buffalo Bills to kind of like see, and also put it out there even more for the fans to start buying?
I first started the AFC East sweaters 2019. We won the AFC East that year. And it was more so just seeing the opportunity to capitalize on a market that wasn't there.
Right.
The Buffalo Bills got their own merchandise, of course, but they don't have something that applies to the urban, fashionable people.
That's true.
They don't have things that make you, like, you got things that you can wear to patronize, support the team.
Right.
But to actually feel fly, you know, they don't really have a lot of that.
Yeah, that's true, because everything that I used to see Buffalo Bills, they just look so identical to me.
Yeah, you know, jerseys, hats, but it's all like, you know, sports merchandise. So
Right.
it's not really a fashionable lane. So I came with the idea, like, yo, I'm already doing fashion. I love the Bills, my team, my home base. How can I incorporate these two together to make something that could work? I didn't know what it would do. But my first one, I did like 95 of them, limited edition, dropped them. They sold out.
Right.
I'm like, okay, we got something. So the next year, I don't think I did them. The following year, I made a new one. And that was the one I was really like, you know what I mean? Like,
Went crazy.
yeah, and I think it's again like perseverance, resilience, and elevating. You know what I mean? Showing the progress. Like my 2019 one, it wasn't as nice as my 2021 one. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or the one that I'm dropping this next week. They're not as nice.
So you dropping something next week?
Yeah.
All right, we're looking forward to it. But let's talk about just when you come up with an idea, do you just come up with that idea and then put it out there, or do you go to people and say, do you think this is nice? Like, do you get like feedback from the people that's closer to you? Do you think this is nice?
I get feedback from the people.
How do you respond to feedbacks? Because some people, let me say, there's some people that could do something and then you give them feedback. They're like, "Bro, you hang, bro." Like,
yeah.
you know, like you hang, instead of taking it as like.
I love criticism because
Right.
it lets you know what's really going on. Like, it lets you know what people really think and feel. And in order to be successful, you have to consider that, and you can't let your emotions get in the way or cloud your judgment of how you can be productive. You know, so I mean, I would love people to be like, "Man, that's whack." Because I'm like, "Okay, bet this ain't it." You know what I mean? But I'm not going to take just one of those. If I show it to like 3 or 4 of my friends, and they are like, I'm not dropping it. I'm going back to the lab and I'm redoing it. I'm making something else because I'm confident in my ability to produce, and I know that I can take the criticism. It's okay. Like, I want people to tell me no, because that's gonna that's also my motivation too. Like,
Right.
Let me be greater. Let me do better.
I feel like the most successful people have always taken like criticism.
Yeah.
It's what puts you back, like you say. It's what takes you back to that lab.
Yeah.
and analyze your
and
work.
People who can't take criticism, man, it's unfortunate because it's hindering you. It's holding you back. You gotta be able to look at yourself and be like, I can fix this.
Right.
I'm not good at this, or I didn't do this right. You gotta be able to self-reflect, not just on product or your business or your goals, but on you as a person too. It's okay for you to sit back and just listen and not speak and be like, okay, I understand. If I don't understand, I'm gonna try to understand why you feel that way or why you got that opinion of me or what I've done. And people who can't take criticism is hindering because it doesn't allow you to grow.
Right.
It doesn't allow you to be greater. It doesn't allow you to flourish. It keeps you trapped in this little bubble that you're in,
But is there
thinking that you're already greater than what you are.
Is there a moment that where someone was giving you a feedback, but it sounded more like they were hating on you? And if there's that moment, like, how did you respond to them?
See, I'm also like, I'm strategic and specific with who I allow to give me advice. Not saying I won't listen to everybody, but everybody doesn't have the opportunity to tell me what they feel or think. And so I don't really pay attention to the internet. I mean, too much. Like, if I see, like, you know, I may drop something before and it may get 500 shares, and then 50 of those people was like, oh, this is whack, I'll never buy this, it's too expensive, why would he make this color? The 50 don't matter. I'm looking at the 450. You know what I mean? So it's like,
you feel me?
Yeah, you know what I mean? So
gotta
it's
look
like,
at that number, bro.
Yeah, so, and also that speaks volumes to, if the mass of the people is like, it's a go, then it's a go. You know what I mean?
What's up, yeah? It's good? All right. But yeah, it's my bad, bro. I just wanted to make sure the cameras are good. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, so I mean, that 50 people actually are the ones that's gonna push. They're gonna push it to get the other 50.
Yeah,
you know. So like,
but I'll read them and see what they saying, and I maybe even consider some of it. Like, okay,
right.
maybe that's a good point. But most of the time, it's like their opinions is a reflection of where they at in their life and what they doing, not what I'm doing. It ain't got nothing to do with me. They stem in negativity because they in a negative space. You know what I mean? So if I see something I don't like on the internet, I just don't engage with it. Like, I'm not somebody gonna be in there like, man, you're whack, your song whack. You should get in the lab and read. I'm not doing that. If you make a bad song, I'm just gonna skip it, and you're gonna know it's bad because people are not gonna be engaging with it. They're not gonna be interacting. They're not gonna be buying it. They're not gonna be, man, people buying it. So I don't care what you know what I mean. Like they right. Buying it, they sharing them. They in the comments, fire emoji. It's lit.
Yep, that's it. That's it. So let's talk about time management, because you know, like when we even started this conversation, you mentioned how when you was young, just growing up, like you was just so in tune with doing a lot of different things. Yeah. So at this point now, you're still busy. You're still trying to get things done. Still worrying about your business, worrying about this, doing grills and so on. How do you manage to How do you manage to kind of like manage your time and making sure that you're getting the right things done before you get to have fun?
I ain't gonna lie. One of the things I do is I compare. And I'm okay to say, I know people be like, oh, I don't look at nobody else. I don't think about nobody else. I'm not in competition. I'm not in competition, but I compare. But I don't compare it to what's behind me. I compare it to what's in front of me. So if I'm like, okay, I'm doing grills, I'm doing labs, I'm taking care of my daughter, I'm looking out for my mom, my family, whatever, my friends, I'm spending time with them. I'm getting X amount of sleep. If I'm starting to feel like it's a lot, then I'm going to look around and I'm going to be like, well, how can it be a lot when this person got 10 businesses and 10 apartments and 2 families and 3 cars and he's doing it, right? Or this person got, you know, an 8-figure business and I got a 6-figure business and I'm over here complaining about what? So it's like, if somebody else alive who got a heartbeat and 10 fingers and 10 toes like me,
right, that
can manage to having an abundance of opportunity and responsibility and family, and then I can figure out a way to do it too.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's my motivation, is like, because sometimes you need to know that it is possible to be motivated. So me being able to see that it's possible is what makes me like, I ain't quitting. Nah, I can do it. I can, you know what I mean? It's like being in a gym and, you know, the guy the same size as you 200 pounds, he 200 pounds, and you 5'11", he 5'11", and he just rep 4 and he rep 20. That's like, I'm not doing something right.
Right.
Because he's not better than me. So it's like, I just need to elevate myself,
Anything
apply myself more, dedicate myself more, you know what I mean? So
right.
That's how I look at it. It's like, if it's anything mentally can see, it can be physically done. You know
right.
what I mean? So if I can see and in my mind think that it can be done, I can do it. And also, too, you got to be real with yourself. I know when I be slacking off. I know when I slept in a little too late.
Oh, bro, I
you know what I mean? I know when I ate the wrong food.
Like,
I
you
know
got to be honest with yourself.
Yeah, you got to be real with yourself.
You got to be honest with yourself.
Yeah, man, you got to be real with yourself. You got to know, like, I should have did another rep, but I didn't.
Right.
I could have did it. And that last one was hard, but I could have pushed another one. I could have strained it. I could have stressed it. You know, I could have ate the salad, but I chose chicken wings. I could have got up at 6, but I got up at 9. I could have. You know what I mean? So it's like also being real with yourself and knowing that I can apply myself and make these changes and arrangements in my life where that's more conducive for what I need in my future.
I feel like that's the most important thing, like self-criticism, like self-talk.
Yeah.
You know, like when you do something that...
Stop victimizing. Stop making excuses.
Right.
Excuses are tools of incompetent. Don't be an incompetent person. Be competent. Know that you can achieve. Know that you can do more. Know that you can be greater. You know what I mean? Don't sit down like, man, only if this, then I would do that. Or only if... Nah, it ain't no only if. The only if is if you worked harder, or if you got up, or if you, you know what I mean? That's the if. If you did it. It's on you. The accountability starts with you every time.
And you're not crazy, man. Talk to yourself, man. You like I feel like some people think you're so crazy when you're talking to yourself.
I talk to myself all the time.
Talk to yourself. I feel like if you wanna feel no. If you're a normal person, you talk to like a normal person talks to themselves. Like you said, self accountability. I did something wrong. I'm gonna talk to myself and tell myself like, yo, don't do that again. You know, I could have pushed 20 reps. You know, like do that next time. You know, like make sure you look at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself you can do it.
Even today, I didn't go to the gym today. I watched the Bills game. I'm wrong for that. I could have watched
go.
the Bills game and go to the gym, but I didn't. But I gotta know, like I could have done both. You know what I mean?
You gotta work harder. I mean,
so.
even tomorrow, maybe you might do 2 sessions.
Yeah.
Feel
for
me?
sure.
Tomorrow you might do 2
Me
sessions.
and my dogs definitely be on the 2 a days. We definitely be on that.
I like that, bro. Sure. But yeah, bro. So just to finish off this, I like to have people, you know, just say something to the youth. You know, so what few words of motivation would you kind of like give to the youth in order to kind of like motivate them to continue moving forward and never give up on their dreams?
Don't focus on things. Focus on values. Focus on making sure you're a person that deserves things, then it will come to you. Make sure that you're good to people. Make sure that you're kind. Make sure you're respectful. Make sure your moral compass is there. Make sure you're not a thief. You're not a liar. You're not a dishonest person. You don't project negative energy amongst people. Just strive at being a better person. And once you become a person that's deserving of more things in life or whatever goals you want to achieve, God will bring it to you.
Yes, sir.
But you have to be prepared for it. You know what I mean? Evil people don't know how to manage good things because they don't have good in them. You know what I mean? So make sure the good is in you. Make sure your heart is there. Make sure your moral compass is there. Make sure you are a person that's worthy of going on the path that you want to go on. That's my everyday. You know what I mean? It's trying to make sure that I'm maximizing who I can be and who I should be.
Right.
And then also, like we said, reflect. If you done wrong, that's what y'all will do. Fix it. It's okay to apologize. It's okay to be wrong. It's okay to not know and know later. It's okay to, squash beef. You know what I mean? It's like bigger picture, bro.
Amen, brother. Thank you so much, bro. I really appreciate you being here. I mean, we had a great conversation. But yeah, man, y'all go ahead and hit the subscribe button, man. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this video.
Sure.
And like I said, this podcast is to help us, grow in a positive light, continue to inspire each other, continue to learn, grow, and just become better people in this world.
Absolutely.
Once again, bro, appreciate it. And yeah, we
Appreciate
outside.
you,
Let's
man.
go.